So as you may be able to take away from the title of this video, I'm going to talk about a few games that were featured at E3, and I'm going to play the trailers in the background as I talk about them, at least to the limited extent that I can with some of these games. But I thought I would just give my 2 cents on E3 and some of these trailers. Assassin's Creed Syndicate. I'll summarize this game by saying Mo Women's. Next up is Call of Duty Black Ops 3, and what's unfortunate about Call of Duty is that, you can say what you will about the franchise. It really has kind of been driven into the ground, so to say. It's not very good, and it hasn't been for quite a while, but I don't mind first-person shooters, and I don't mind Call of Duty. So it's not as though that I'm like sitting here shaking my fist, fuck Black Ops 3 or whatever. It's just a matter of I'm not going to buy it because no one's going to be playing it on PC. I'm not playing it on console, so what's the point? There's no reason to buy this fucking game. Deus Ex: Mankind Divided. I played Human Revolution. I was a critic of it. I didn't think that it was a perfect game. I liked a lot about it. I thought it could have been a very decent sci-fi game, but it just didn't play all that well. They never really gave you many reasons to play outside of stealth because of just the broken gameplay when it came to being more actiony. If you got too heavy-handed with, running in and doing sorts of shit like that, which they said you could do, you kind of got cut down pretty quick. There just wasn't a good grasp of the surroundings with your character in it. You had to find an object and grip it, and that's not actiony. That's not really what you could call much other than sort of cover-based shooters, so to say. But at that point, what's the point? You might as well be doing fucking stealth if you're going to be hiding in cover. So, I mean, say what you will about what I just said, but I'm not a fan of the previous game, which was Human Revolution. I am anticipating Mankind Divided. I will more than likely buy it. So for those of you that are fanatics of that franchise, don't worry. I'm not taking a dump on it. I'm just saying I'm going to buy it, but I have some reservations as to how good it's actually going to be. So Dishonored 2. As a person that didn't like the first game, I'm just going to say Mo Women's. I'm going to skip past Fallout 4 because I think that specific game and that specific presentation is worth its own video because of how crazy of a presentation that was, how much was dropped. And I can't begin to tell you how fucking hyped I was by that presentation. I mean, a friend of mine who's more of a Fallout fan than I am, he got fucking hyped. But I'll tell you, man, when I saw that live presentation, I was blown the fuck away. I was like, fuck me, man. All the progress they've made, all the things they've included in this game that are just right off the bat impressive for me, just immediately attract me to this game where I was already going to buy it, right? But again, I was just blown the fuck away by that presentation and what they showed in that game so far. Just the limited stuff that they showed, I was already impressed. But I'm going to leave that for another day. What I will mention about Fallout is Fallout Shelter, which if you own an iPhone or especially an iPad, I'd say download it. Download Fallout Shelter, give it a few hours of your time, play with it. But I will say, as a person that's put many hours into it already, hold on to your cash until about 5 to 10 hours in. Don't spend any money until about 5 to 10 hours in, once you can actually make a decision whether you want to continue on or not. If you feel like you want to continue, then feel free to do whatever you want with the game. But I'm just going to say, if you download this app, don't invest money, just play it. If you like the game enough, then I say invest the money. But hold off until you actually have some time to sort of play around with what's in the game. Because it requires kind of an investment to get into. Rise of the Tomb Raider, I'll briefly mention just based on how angry I still am about this being an exclusive to the Xbox One. I still don't get it. Maybe they were forced into this. Maybe they were backed into a corner somehow, or the corporate suits made the decision. But I mean, this game is not going to sell on Xbox One. That's what I'm going to predict. Square Enix is not going to be satisfied with the number of copies they sell on Xbox One. I liked the previous Tomb Raider game. The reboot, I liked it. I liked it a lot. It was a solid fucking game. I'm not going to buy a goddamn Xbox to play this fucking game. I mean, how long are we going to wait, right? What other games are going to be out there for us to play by the time this motherfucking game shows up? Oh man, Rise of the Tomb Raider is finally out on a PC. Well, I got 20 other games to fucking play. Why do I care? Dumb fucking move. That's all I'm saying. The Division. So this was one that was up and down. PvP does excite me when it comes to Tom Clancy's The Division. That is going to be the thing I look forward to in that game. I don't really care about going around in New York City and collecting loot and killing NPCs and all that shit. No, I want to get in there. I want to find people. I want to have them get loot, and I want to fuck them. You understand what I'm saying? Because that's what I love about PvP. What I love is this kind of instance-based PvP, where people are walking in, and then, you know, their chest tightens, their breathing quickens, they start to sweat, their palms are getting moist, because they're waiting for me to come up and fuck them and take their shit. This could have been just pure hype the whole way through. But because of the graphics, because of the muddy graphics that were shown in comparison to what was shown in the past, it dampened my mood. It really did. I was sitting there hyped, ready to say, like, yeah, I can't wait, ready to pre-order this, and I already did. For those of you that don't like pre-orders, I'm sold on this game, and I have been for a while. They've already confirmed that there's going to be snipers. I'm going to try that, even though snipers are usually cunts. Most games with snipers, if you play that, you're subscribed to me, I don't care, you're a cunt. But I'm going to try it in this game. I'm going to try it. We're going to see. Oh, Mass Effect Andromeda. I hearken back to the quote that I may have said previously on my channel, but I'm just going to say it again. Why would I play this game when I've played the last? I mean, have you guys played BioWare games recently? Have you played what they've been producing recently? Why the fuck would I play this next Mass Effect? What about this game is going to sell me? That's going to be the hardest fucking thing in the world, to sell me on Mass Effect Andromeda. After what BioWare has become, after all of their anti-consumer shit, on top of the fact that their games aren't good. And I'm asking you, the listener, the person subscribed to me or not, you answer this question. Why the fuck would I buy Mass Effect Andromeda after I played Mass Effect 3? You sell me on this motherfucking game. Good luck. Good fucking luck. Dirty Bomb. So this could be a video in and of itself when it comes to this game, because even though I've only had so much experience in that game so far, I can say that I do like it. It has its flaws, it has its downsides, there are people cheating in it because it is a free-to-play beta, but it's a solid game in my opinion. If you're not aware, Angry Joe took a really big shit on this game. Joe wasn't wholly wrong in his criticisms of the game, but he jumped the gun and he went way over the top in saying that this game is just trying to fuck the consumer and trying to like gouge you out of your money. They should speed up the process in the game for getting credits and even XP. It takes a very long time in that game to save up to buy a character in order to play it, let alone getting the cards and all that from equipment cases and that. So Joe wasn't wholly wrong about his criticism of that game, but I do like it. It has some balancing problems, but it's not as bad as if you watch Angry Joe. It's not as bad as he made it out to be. Hitman. Yeah, this is one of those games where I don't have anything positive to say. And I say that as a person that bought Silent Assassin way back when and fell in love with the franchise. Bought the first game, couldn't wait for contracts, played that, loved every single one of them. But the first game is fucking hard as shit, and it's not very well made, but it's still a classic in my opinion for fringe games that are out there in the ether for people to play and, you know, struggle with. But Contracts was awesome. Blood Money was awesome. As a person that liked every game up until that point, I was severely disappointed by Absolution. I thought it was the worst game in the franchise, despite what it got critical acclaim. I saw plenty of people talking endlessly about how great it is. I fucking hated it. I hated Absolution. And apparently I'm alone in it, because I've been a long-term fan of that established fucking franchise, and I hated that motherfucking game. I'm not here to defend my opinion on that, but I'm just going to state it as is. So when I saw this trailer, right, I mean, I see this, they're talking about, oh, this is going to be an open world thing where you can run around and find contracts and assassinate targets on a time schedule and all this bullshit. I'm sitting here like, oh, okay, so this is like an open world Hitman game that seems like you're spinning off of Absolution because you don't know what the fuck to do. This is not a reboot. This is not going back to the basics. This is not a genuine game that I can see me playing. This is just some fucking bullshit with the Hitman fucking tag on it. So give me a break. I'm not impressed at all with what I saw at E3. So this is going to be the controversial one on this list, I think, because this one threw me through a loop. I can't tell you why. I can't narrow it down and explain to you what is happening in my mind. But the trailer, the cinematic for Star Wars The Old Republic, Knights of the Fallen Empire, I cannot begin to tell you how fucking hyped I got from that trailer. And I don't know why. That's the real question here. I still don't know why I got so fucking hyped from this trailer, this cinematic. I haven't played The Old Republic in a long time. And as if you would have seen in my other video, I'm playing it now. It's not as though I've forgiven BioWare for the past shitty games, and this game isn't all that solid, really. The Old Republic is not a very solid MMO. I don't know, you explain it to me. I can't explain it myself. This cinematic sold me so fucking hard to get back into this game. I don't know why. It's a mystery to me. I mean, if you haven't seen it, I'll link it. Watch this fucking cinematic. Maybe it'll do to you what it did to me. It just sold me on this totally. I want to play this. I want to play this fucking next thing that BioWare is going to shit out. For all I know, it's going to be like everything they've done in the last 2 years and be totally awful. But it sold me. I don't know what else to say. Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon Wildlands. So this was another one that sold me. I saw that concept. I saw what they were offering. And yes, it seems to me that they're still early in development from what they showed, and there's obviously changes that are going to be made in order to actually implement these big notions, these big ideas that they've come up with. They're probably going to have to scale back in some way to make this possible, to make this actually playable in the way that they want it to. In my opinion, it looks great. It seems to me, though, that the 4 players offered are just standard preset characters that they're going to create and you can just pick. Maybe that'll work. I prefer customization, but it can work, right? We've seen games in the past, Left 4 Dead and the rest, that have offered co-op with just 4 players that you can choose from, and it works. You know, I found my character that I liked, that I preferred, that I found amusing or interesting or just, you know, I like the style of. I'm sure they can make this good if they invest the time, they invest the money, and they put, you know, the polish on it that's necessary in order to make a good game. I think they could do it with this, and if you haven't seen it, check out the trailer for it. It looks cool. So I'm out of time here. I've been carrying on for a little bit too long now, and I skipped past a couple games that I really could have talked about, but you know, I really hit most of the games that I wanted to talk about. But if you have any games that I've left off this list that you think I should check out, let me know. Like I said, with Fallout, I could probably just do a whole other video on that game alone because of how hyped I am for it, but yeah. Tell me what you guys think. Tell me what you guys thought of E3. And thanks for listening.